The last few days in crypto have been absolutely crazy, but we just witnessed a very big update regarding the US market. And yes, I do think that we need to focus on this. I think that we should be, really kind of paying attention to what's happening right now to really kind of pave a way for crypto, digital assets, and the technology around this space to be integrated and ultimately utilized in and even outside of the US financial system. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Let's dive on in and let's talk about a few things because, wow, what a difference one day can make in this space. 24 hours ago, the sky was falling. Today, things are looking a little bit different. Bitcoin's back to almost 100K. XRP's trading over $2.60 some cents. Now everyone's getting a little bit excited, but I just want to, take a step back and just let you guys know that don't get too far ahead of yourselves. Like, just make sure that you are prepared for anything to happen next, because we could see a violent rejection off of the highs one last time to truly shake the market, truly take out any sort of, overall good outlook that anyone does have, and ultimately kills the sentiment completely right before the biggest moves. It would make a lot of sense. We have seen this many times over, but things are looking pretty good. On the last 24-hour span, we're seeing a lot of altcoins up significantly, and we are starting to see a little bit of a nice bounce back, which is always great to see. Now, one thing that I will say is dominance is starting to change a little bit. We actually look at the columns here and we add in the dominance percentage, and I want to kind of move this to the front just so that you guys can see it. Check out the dominance here. We have 60% for Bitcoin, which was a little over 63%. We have Ethereum over 10.3%. XRP still around almost 5%, but Ethereum's dominance has been dropping significantly. This is very interesting to see, and XRP almost has 50% of Ethereum's market cap. One small announcement that's very bullish for XRP could quickly change the entire view for this market. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that we should be prepared for anything to happen next, good or bad. The best way to do that is parking, stablecoins on the sidelines just in case and not acting impulsively here. But XRP's overall trading volume did recently surge. I was hearing talks about how in 1 hour, XRP recorded like the most trading volume in history, which is pretty crazy to think about. But this chart is just insane. I mean, if you actually looked at some of the candle bodies on a few charts, it was showing us some pretty crazy moves. Now, this one only shows us down to like 195. On some exchanges, XRP actually dipped all the way down to like the 160, 170 level, which is pretty wild because we're back to 265. And all I got to say is, wow. I mean, you could call it market manipulation, but it seems as though there's a lot of internal and even external factors that we could have, really kind of tied to that price move. But it was weekend price action. Weekend price action. I've always said it. Don't trust it. Don't trust weekend price action. But I am still watching XRP closely because there is definitely a possibility that we fill the macro gap here, and that's around like 164 to around like 193. Now, I know that we got close to it, and I know on some exchanges we did go all the way down to like 170, but there's definitely a possibility that we can go down to like the mid 160 range one last time. I say one last time because I do think that the next move is going to be the final finale for the space where XRP should be around or even possibly above $10 plus. But outside of that, let's talk about a few things. Let's actually address, some big buys. Number one, we did hear that Dave Portnoy, so if you guys don't know, Barstool, sports founder Dave Portnoy states that he just bought another $1 million in XRP. Now, Dave did buy back in like the middle of December as well. He owned like 1.3 million XRP. He did come out and say that. And then on February 3rd, we did hear, okay, here's my announcement. I just bought another million XRP. Check it out. So there you guys have it. Now, hopefully YouTube doesn't, mute that clip, but that's basically what he said. Okay, here's my announcement. I just bought another million of XRP. Listen, a lot of people were buying XRP. There was, like I said, in 1 hour, XRP recorded the most trading volume in history, which is kind of crazy. And it's because there's a lot more eyes on XRP today than ever before, in my opinion. But so far, the market has been picking up. We could actually see the top gainers and losers in the top 100 and even the top 500. Big shout to Griffin. Griffin is a big winner. If you guys do know, you know. If you're in the Discord, you know. Also, Telcoin doing very good. Keep a close eye on the channel today because we will be making a video for Telcoin because it has been performing very well. And it's been definitely one that's in my portfolio. And it has been in my portfolio since going all the way back to like 2022 for many reasons. But outside of that, let's talk about some big news. Number one, let's talk about President Donald Trump launching the U.S. Sovereign Wealth Fund. Big shout out to Bank XRP for this. This could be the game changer we've been waiting for. In my humble opinion, this is one of the most groundbreaking decisions in this or in his administration. What is a sovereign wealth fund? Well, it's basically a state-owned investment fund composed of financial assets such as stocks, bonds, property, precious metals, or other financial instruments. These funds are typically funded by revenues from commodity exports or from foreign exchange reserves held by the central bank. Here are the key aspects of sovereign wealth funds. Purpose: they are primarily created to achieve long-term returns, diversify assets, stabilize the economy, or save for future generations, especially in countries where revenue from non-renewable resources like oil is significant. The funding source: they're often funded by profits from natural resources, especially oil and gas, as seen in countries like Norway, Saudi Arabia, or even from the UAE. And then also non-commodity, funded by transfers from foreign exchange reserves or fiscal surpluses like those in Singapore or even China. Then the investment strategies: these funds can invest in a wide range of assets globally, from public equities and bonds to real estate, infrastructure, and sometimes even private equity or hedge funds. Their strategy often involves long-term investments that might not be immediately liquid, but are expected to yield high returns over time. Governance: they are managed by government bodies or independent boards to ensure transparency, accountability, and adherence to international best practices. Although governance structures can vary widely, economic impact: they can play roles in stabilizing domestic economies, supporting national development projects, or preparing for demographic changes like an aging population. They can also be used as tools for geopolitical influence through strategic investments. Then we also have examples. Some well-known sovereign wealth funds include Norway's government pension fund Global, often cited for its transparency and ethical investment policies. And then Abu Dhabi's Investment Authority, one of the largest sovereign wealth funds, Singapore's Temasek Holdings, and also GIC. Sovereign wealth funds are distinct from other types of state funds like stabilization funds or pension reserve funds in their investment approach and objectives, focusing more on wealth accumulation and diversification rather than short-term fiscal management. And here we actually have that full announcement. Check it out.
Next, this is an executive order. Discharges your Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, and your Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, to begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an American sovereign wealth fund.
It's a very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you're seeing that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth, the people, my predecessors. We're creating a lot of wealth. Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it, and I'd ask also Howard to say something about it.
Yes, sir. This is very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work, and I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices as done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets, assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
The extraordinary size and scale of the U.S. government and the business it does with companies should create value for American citizens. If we are going to buy 2 billion COVID vaccines, maybe we should have some warrants and some equity in these companies and have that grow for the help of the American people. So I bring all these things together. I think Scott and I will create an amazing sovereign wealth fund for you, sir.
So other countries have sovereign wealth funds, and they're much smaller countries, and they're not the United States. We have tremendous potential in this country, tremendous. You're seeing that, what's happened just in a short period of time. And as an example, TikTok, we're going to be doing something perhaps with TikTok, and perhaps not. If we make the right deal, we'll do it, otherwise we won't. But I have the right to do that, and we might put that in the sovereign wealth fund, whatever we make, or if we do a partnership with very wealthy people, a lot of options, but we could put that as an example in the fund, and we have a lot of other things that we could put in the fund. And I think in a short period of time, we'd have one of the biggest funds, and some of them are pretty large, I must tell you. Some of like the Saudi Arabia fund is on the large side, but eventually we'll catch it. But we're going to create a lot of wealth for the fund. And I think it's about time that this country had a sovereign wealth fund, and these two gentlemen and some others are going to work with them very closely, and they'll be heading it up, and they're going to do a great job. Two highly respected people that have done unbelievably well in the world, in the real world. So that's a big deal, huh?
Yes, sir. I think it's going to create value and be a great strategic.
Now, of course, the big question here is what's going to be included in this? Well, we do know that one of the big players that are, really kind of tied to this has been very pro crypto. In fact, they've been pushing crypto. And even under Trump, we have been hearing that they want to make crypto a very big piece of the US. In fact, they want the US to be the crypto capital of the world. And on top of that, today, well, David Sachs, President Trump's White House AI and crypto czar, will host a press conference on digital assets on today, 2:30 p.m. EST. Guys, this is about 2.5 hours away. They will be discussing how the Trump administration and Congress will work together to secure America as a leader in the digital asset ecosystem. And here we have all of the individuals tied to this. Some of the same individuals that are now also a part of, let's go back to it, this sovereign wealth fund. A lot of these moves are calculated. And a lot of them are tied directly to one another. Listen, I don't think I need to tell you guys that crypto is going to be the next $100 trillion asset class. We are watching as all of these big announcements are coming out around this space and around this technology. It just makes a lot of sense to have crypto be a part of this sovereign wealth fund. And, we already have the list on CoinMarketCap, regardless of if you want to believe it or not. But these are the top made in America tokens by market capitalization. And, this is a very substantial list. There's a lot of great projects on here. There's a lot of great, teams behind some of these projects as well. There's a lot of great technology here. I mean, even Telcoin's on this list. So, this is something that we've been watching. This is something that I think everyone should be paying attention to. I feel like crypto has now become a very big, topic. I think that's become a very big asset class as well in terms of the potential. And I think that the tech itself is realized greatly from some of the most prominent names out there. So right now, we 100% should be focused on what's happening around crypto and with crypto. And I think that the main thing is really kind of paying attention to the timeline in terms of regulations, which will lead to ultimately the adoption and utilization of the tech itself. And a lot of the regulatory side of things have been changing, like SAB 121 being repealed. So with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.